Conspiracy theorists are warning that 2025 might not be the fresh start we're hoping
Characters.
for. But rather,
Spartan 1 said they reminded him of Egyptian hieroglyphics or Mayan glyphs, but they definitely weren't either.
President Lincoln was shot in a theater named Ford. Kennedy was shot in a car named Lincoln, made by Ford.
Welcome back, squad. Thank you so much for being here again to join me on yet another show. And you know how I like to kick it off with a little bit of positivity before we get into the bulk of things. So we're going to jump this show off with this little 2-minute clip that will leave you heartfelt. Let's do it.
Dirty Man walked into the game. What the coach did next shocked everyone. In the middle of a sea of cheering fans at a University of Kentucky scrimmage, one man quietly stood out. His face was smeared with soot, his uniform still streaked with coal dust. He looked out of place until people noticed who was sitting beside him. A 3-year-old child, smiling wide, eyes locked on the court. The sight felt both unique and deeply touching, prompting a curious fan to snap a photo and post it online. And once it hit social media, everything changed. By the next morning, the image had gone viral, drawing national attention, including from coach John Calipari, who was deeply moved by the picture. Although he didn't yet know the man's identity, he could tell from the uniform that he was a coal miner. Calipari then shared the photo on his own social media account, hoping to find him. While the man was still at work, unaware of his viral fame due to having no cell service underground, his wife, Molly, had already seen the photo and replied to Calipari's post. She even spoke on the phone with the coach for about 30 minutes, during which she told him that the man in the photo was Michael McGuire. That day, Michael had just finished a demanding 10-hour shift underground when he rushed to keep a promise he had made to his young son to attend the game. With no time to clean up, he headed straight to the university, where his son Easton was already waiting with Molly. Calipari told Molly that his own family had roots in the coal mines and that the photo reminded him of his grandfather's sacrifices and values. He understood deeply that miners live by the principle of sticking together, a lesson he had always passed on to his players. When Michael finally regained signal on his way home, he was bombarded with messages and calls, confused by the sudden attention. He was only stunned after Molly explained what had happened. Shortly after, Coach Calipari personally called Michael to thank him for his hard work and invited the family to be VIP guests at an upcoming game at Rupp Arena, complete with dinner, courtside seats, and a team meet and greet. Even the team bus came to pick them up, and that was just the beginning. Later, more offers began pouring in, such as hotel rooms, dinners, even a car. Michael's quiet sacrifice reminded the world what truly matters: keeping your word and loving loud even when you're covered in coal dust.
Now, didn't that just leave you all tingly inside? This show did me, man. Great story. Now, let's head on in the show. So step inside and enjoy the show.
conspiracy theorists are warning that 2025 might not be the fresh start we're hoping
Characters.
for. But rather,
Spartan 1 said they reminded him of Egyptian hieroglyphics or Mayan glyphs, but they definitely weren't either.
President Lincoln was shot in a theater named Ford. Kennedy was shot in a car named Lincoln, made by Ford.
Well, whether or not I consider that object to be extraterrestrial or not is still up for debate. But its speed and movements certainly rules out any conventional craft as far as I'm concerned. And it also doesn't vibe like a drone to me. So what do y'all think about this one?
What is that? Sorry, Georgia. That's weird. What is that? It's not an airplane.
Now this clip, on the other hand, does kind of scream drone to me. But with all these new recent lights all over the skies these days, it's pretty hard to tell.
But that first meeting wasn't about people and equipment on the ground. It was a meeting about what Brian saw in the sky. In 2003, a Navy SEAL team was dispatched from McMurdo Base to the Beardmore Glacier region. Officially, they were doing routine reconnaissance. Unofficially, it was an extraction operation. The team was to find a scientist, gather his research, and return him to base. The SEAL team commander was codenamed Spartan 1. It was made very clear to him and his team that the research was extremely important and had to be protected at all costs. Now, of course, Spartan 1 agreed, but this was an odd request. As far as they knew, this researcher was just some scientist taking pictures of a glacier. And that was true, but it was much more than that. As the SEAL team approached their destination, they saw the top of a black octagon. It was protruding about 18 feet above the melting ice and snow. Spartan 1 approached and saw a huge door. It was 23 feet high and had markings that he thought looked like a star map. Also engraved in the door was a triangle with two lines crossing through the center. This is a symbol that's popped up in various places around the world throughout history. Journalist Linda Moulton Howe, who interviewed Spartan 1 and other witnesses, showed him the picture of a coin found in Mexico City in 1993. It had the same markings.
Have you ever seen anything like that?
That was on the outside of the door of the structure, the top right-hand corner of the door.
Spartan 1 gently pushed on the door. It was over 20 feet tall and 18 feet thick. It opened easily. It was perfectly balanced. The SEAL team entered the building. The external temperature was 40 degrees below zero. Inside the building, the temperature varied between 68 and 72 degrees. The door gently closed behind them, leaving the team in eerie silence. And the room was huge. It covered 9 acres, almost 400,000 square feet. The room was as long as 7 football fields. It took Spartan 1 and his team quite a while to walk the length of the hallway. The walls were generating a soft lime green light, though they couldn't see how. It was as if the light was coming from the walls themselves. And on the walls were rows and rows of carved characters. Spartan 1 said they reminded him of Egyptian hieroglyphics or Mayan glyphs, but they definitely weren't either. The SEAL team found their scientists taking pictures and samples of the structure. They asked him how big this place was. He pointed to a ramp at the end of the room. The ramp extended down into the rest of the building. He said in total it covered 62 acres. That's over 2.7 million square feet. It was huge and mostly under the ice. And this was only one of several structures in the area. Now this was 2003. At this time, this giant door was the only way into the structure. But in the years since, other entrances have been found. But the only way to access them is by submarine. Subs have been going 2 miles under the ice to enter the structures. And unlike that top room, the facility's lower levels are occupied. And they're not occupied by humans.
I absolutely love this guy's content. His channel is called The Y-Files, with millions of subscribers. And his dives, they go really deep. And his research is obvious. And he does tons of stories on things like this. But to be honest with you, from what I can tell, following him for a while now, he just pretty much likes the stories, likes to tell them, research them. But his tinfoil hat's not near as thick as a lot of ours out there, mine included. But if you don't follow the Y-Files, you should certainly start. What a weird light in the sky. No movement whatsoever. It almost kind of looks like it's supposed to be cloaked and it's partially revealing itself, but the rest is still cloaked. I don't know. Let me know what y'all think in the comments on this one.
Hielo sobre una zona de cabañas en la noche. Esta cámara fue colocada por un grupo de investigadores que han estado monitoreando la zona, debido a que existen demasiados reportes de avistamientos ovnis según los residentes locales.
At first, I thought this was a cloud reflecting the light from, like a light tower, because this is obviously a beachfront view that we're watching this footage on. So my presumption is there would be a light tower somewhere close. So there for a while, I definitely thought that this was just, a perfect circle, light rotating, reflecting off the clouds until the end. And then the light goes way outside of the circle and starts doing its own thing. So this was pretty convincing. It's definitely unidentified as far as I'm concerned. And it just might be the real deal.
In Turkey, they've been experiencing some bizarre UAP encounters lately. So check this out. Flights at Sabiha Gökçen Airport, sorry if I butchered that, in Istanbul were disrupted due to pilots reporting unidentified objects on their radar systems. These anomalies even triggered collision avoidance warnings, prompting extensive but inconclusive searches by authorities. Also, in a separate incident, a pilot near Gaziantep Airport, again, sorry if I butchered it, spotted a bright glowing object in the sky that wasn't visible on the radar. This sighting led to a temporary shutdown of the whole airport and a massive search operation, but the object vanished without a trace. So, while some are speculating these events obviously could be due to drone activity or atmospheric phenomena, no definitive explanations have been provided as of yet, and authorities continue to investigate to ensure aviation safety. Stay tuned for any updates. If I get some, I'll let you know.
Well, one thing's for absolute certain. If they shut down the entire airport over this, somebody was worried over some things that they could not explain. That's millions they lose just in a short shutdown. So they absolutely had something going on.
The real truth, you better wake up and find out, has been around you all of your life. You just didn't see it. Example, Abraham Lincoln was elected to Congress in 1846. John Kennedy was elected to Congress 1946. Abe Lincoln was elected president in 1860. John Kennedy was elected president 1960. The names Lincoln and Kennedy both contain 7 letters. Both presidents were particularly concerned with civil rights. Both of the president's wives lost children while living in the White House. Both presidents were shot on a Friday in the head. President Lincoln's secretary was named Miss Kennedy. Kennedy's secretary was named Miss Lincoln. Both were assassinated by Southerners. Both were succeeded by Southerners. Andrew Johnson, who succeeded Lincoln, was born in 1808. Lyndon Johnson, who succeeded Kennedy, was born in 1908. John Wilkes Booth, who assassinated Lincoln, was born in 1839. Lee Harvey Oswald, who assassinated Kennedy, in 1939. Both assassins were known by 3 names: John Wilkes Booth, Lee Harvey Oswald. Both names are comprised of 15 letters. President Lincoln was shot in a theater named Ford. Kennedy was shot in a car named Lincoln, made by Ford. John Wilkes Booth ran to a theater and was caught in a warehouse. Oswald ran from a warehouse and was caught in a theater. Booth and Oswald were both assassinated before they could go to trial. And a week before Lincoln was shot, he was in Monroe, Maryland. A week before Kennedy was shot, he was with Marilyn Monroe.
The truth is hidden in plain sight, and this is how they hide everything. If you are looking for the knowledge that has been hidden from us, if you want to know the meaning behind these symbols, if you want to know who controls the world, this ebook will literally unveil that to you, and ye shall know the truth, and truth shall set you free.
Well, this clip here has been around for a while, but it's always worth throwing in every now and then because it's always going to be somebody's first time seeing it, and I think this is always a good one to see.
These are entities that are here on this earth, that have been on this earth, that who knows how long, and that we think they're coming in from way out. Maybe they did millennia ago, but they're here and they're in these deep water areas, and that's why. I mean, like we say, we know more about the face of the moon than we do what's going on there. Now, we have a higher propensity of sightings around these 5 or 6, I believe, deep water areas. And so to me, it just it creates a question there. And then when we have naval personnel telling me that we have these sightings and that there's these underwater craft they're chasing that are doing hundreds of miles an hour, and the best we've got is something that does maybe just a little under 40 miles an hour. So I got a lot of questions about that stuff, and I mean,
to me, this feels more of a staged conversation that they had to push more of a confirmation bias for people that are more easily liable to just follow along, just to help reinforce this thing that's going on with this full disclosure. Seems to be like something the government's enjoying doing now. Why? Kind of lines up perfectly with the whole Project Bluebeam thing, but that's just my thoughts on that. What do y'all think?
I thought it was fake until I went on the CIA.gov and found it, and I was like, what am I looking at? On December 5th, 1988, this one man was to find the Ark of the Covenant, and what he saw was bone chilling. And I have the document right here.
Directly from .gov.
This is what he said about the Ark of the Covenant. Target is in a container and is decorated with seraphims. Target is located somewhere in the Middle East, as the language spoken by individuals seem to be Arabic. The target is hidden underground. It has something to do with ceremony, memory, and the resurrection.
What?
There is an aspect of spirituality, lessons, and historical knowledge far beyond what we know. The target is protected by entities.
What?
This container cannot be opened until the time is deemed correct. Individuals opening the container by prying or striking are destroyed by the container's protectors through the use of a power unknown to us. That is a CIA document.
That's the craziest thing I've ever heard, dude. Entities?
It's protected by entities.
You're saying that this person acquired this knowledge through using one of those, like basically like beaming a visual?
Psychoenergetics is what it's called. Remote viewing, the ability to describe remote areas, ability to influence physical or biological systems via undefined physical mechanisms.
It's Stranger Things for real.
That's insane.
I hate that.
But these were actual programs the CIA was running. It's not like
for years
they learned about it and they're just putting it in there for archive purposes. Like they were doing this. They were the ones running it.
The conspiracy is that the CIA went and apprehended the Ark of the Covenant.
That's a crazy story, dude.
Now, all these CIA documents are absolutely fascinating, but I do have a little bit of skepticism to the fact of the disclosure and the declassification of these documents in the first place. Again, why now?
Can you please explain to me in detail the event that occurred at Vandenberg Air Force Base?
Certainly.
I've been waiting for this for seems like my whole life, and I literally fell out of my chair.
They observed a very large red square, estimated to be almost the size of a football field, approach the base from the ocean and hover at low altitude over one of the launch facilities.
Radio transmissions start to pour in.
As it became closer and closer to our position, it stopped and hovered right up the coastline. There's no propulsion systems, no lights, no audible sounds, and it just hovered there.
And then just all hell broke loose.
There was a lot of chaos.
These are people I'd spent years with, and they're not people that are easily frightened or intimidated. And they were terrified, and they were screaming for help over the net.
This object remained for about 45 seconds or so before darting off over the mountains.
It just shot away up the coastline. It seemed like 1,000,000 miles an hour, like it was shot out of a cannon, and then it was gone. I mean, personally, I can't explain it. I've never seen anything like it in my life. The way it hovered, to make no sound, to have no propulsion system. Our air.
Man, I wanted to hear more, dang it. But that was the full clip right there. That was the whole thing. Sorry, y'all.
Believing these conspiracy theories in 2025, and number 3 is terrifying. Number 1, digital currency control. By 2026, physical money could vanish. Some claim it's a plan for total financial surveillance and control. Number 2, weather manipulation. People say secret satellites can control the weather, triggering floods, droughts, or natural disasters. Number 3, quantum timeline shifts. Millions remember things that never happened. Some believe we've jumped timelines and the universe is glitching. Number 4, underground cities. Rumors say massive tunnels connect cities underground, built for elites to escape when things go bad. Number 5, birds aren't real. They say birds are actually government drones spying on us 24/7, and they recharge by perching on power lines. Which one do you think might be real? Or did we miss the craziest one? Drop your theory in the comments. I'm reading every single one.
Now, first of all, they did not downplay the severity level of the virus. They upplayed the severity level of the virus 100%. And secondly, birds are definitely real. But like any other sneak attack for surveillance, our government will absolutely, and has absolutely, putting fake birds up there to mingle along in the midst of those as camouflage per se, that do have and are equipped as surveillance drone birds, for sure, 100%.
Do you still feel in government positions there's some compromised people?
Most of the government has been overrun by the elites. A lot of double agents, or white hats, or the collective are also in very powerful positions, but they can't give away their position yet. 2025 is going to be their last attempt to really push the boundaries. The deeper we go and the darker it gets, the more exposure we're going to have, the more people are going to wake up.
The dead internet theory. What if the internet you know and love is a lie? The dead internet theory suggests that most of the content you interact with online isn't created by humans at all, but by AI bots pulling the strings behind the scenes. As our digital world grows more automated, is anyone even real on the internet anymore? This chilling idea raises the question, are we just pawns in a digital simulation? Fog is a chemical weapon.
Thick, mysterious fog blanketing entire regions. Is it just weather, or something far more sinister? Some believe that this dense, chemical-laced fog is part of covert government experiments or even a strange alien plot. Is the air we breathe turning against us, or is it just the latest environmental mystery on the rise? The truth, they claim, is hidden within the mist. 2025 mirrors 2020. Could history be repeating itself in a terrifying deja vu? As 2025 starts on the same days of the week as 2020, some are panicking that this could mean the return of the global chaos, from pandemics to mass social upheaval. Conspiracy theorists are warning that 2025 might not be the fresh start we're hoping for, but rather a dark reflection of what came before. Get ready for round 2. Project 2025, an underground theory claims that a shadowy, top-secret agenda, known only as Project 2025, is out to reshape the American government. Allegedly, it outlines drastic changes, including dismantling federal agencies and curtailing social programs. Is this a blueprint for the country's future, or the beginning of a chilling new world order that we're not meant to know about? Social Security fraud conspiracy. Elon Musk has thrown fuel on the fire, claiming that the Democrats are orchestrating massive fraud to manipulate voter demographics through Social Security and Medicare. This theory suggests the government is secretly using entitlements as a tool for political control, pushing some to argue that it's time to cut back on these safety nets before the conspiracy goes any further. Media manipulation of COVID-19 narratives. The media's coverage of the COVID-19 pandemic has been under fire, with accusations that the narrative was skewed from the very beginning. Some believe the media downplayed the severity of the virus to protect political interests or suppress alternative explanations like the lab leak theory. Could the story we were told have been a carefully constructed lie? Los Angeles fire conspiracy. A raging fire in Los Angeles sparked a series of unsettling theories. With videos showing people near the fire's origin point, many are questioning if this was a setup. Was this fire deliberately started as part of a covert plan, or is it just a tragic accident? The city's underbelly may be hiding a darker truth than anyone expected.
Well, people, that concludes the first half of today's show, and it is time for intermission. Welcome back, everyone. Let's slide right on in to Chapter 3.
%6 unemployment in some states, including Washington, D.C., which is the highest. The average is 4.3%. Inflation rose to 2.9%. Foreclosures for homes are up 18% higher than last year. Auto repossessions are skyrocketing. Farmers are begging for help. In Detroit this week, a manufacturer announced that they would quash a $50 million deal that took 3 years. Subaru is pulling out of the United States of America. Marvel is pulling out of the United States of America. The South Korean Hyundai plant was raided. That would have brought $21 billion to the state of Georgia, thousands of jobs. We have lost over 1 million jobs in less than 9 months in 2025. Vegetables are up 38%. We now pay a tariff, a tax, anywhere from 10 to 147%. Tariffs are taxes that the U.S. importer pays and passes on to you, the consumer. Every single country has stopped doing business with the United States of America. We are spending $1 trillion on the Department of War, $250 billion on deporting brown people who actually pay taxes and also contribute to the gross domestic product. Are we great yet?
Now, I'm not sure how accurate her stats are, but she really seems to be into the numbers, and I got no reason to not believe her. But if you want to know the actual numbers for sure yourself, always do your own research. If I wanted to know if I cared that much about these numbers, I would go look it up myself so I know. Remember, anytime you're getting things like stats and stuff like that in any of these videos, always take it, with a grain of salt and do your own research if you really want to know what's accurate, what's not, because I don't fact check every single clip that I look at. So I can't tell you with any kind of certainty half of these clips whenever it comes to numbers and things like that, if they're actually giving you the actual factual numbers on that. So always remember to look up your own stuff if you want to know for sure on any of these clips.
The banking sector of the United States of America is about to collapse. There's no question in anybody's mind anymore that that is about to happen. Now, if you don't know that, it's not because it's not true. It's simply because nobody in the mainstream media is talking about it. All economists see it. Everybody in the banking system sees it. Everybody's scared shitless. They're just not talking about it. Here's what happened. Number one, a building in Midtown Manhattan that sold for $382 million in 2006 was just auctioned a few weeks ago for $8.2 million. You heard me correctly. $382 million, it was auctioned for $8.2 million. The reason for this is occupancy in major office buildings around the country has dropped tremendously. Everybody's working from home. It's more effective for companies, so why would they have commercial real estate they don't need? So they're not leasing these office buildings anymore. And these office buildings have literally, across the country, $20 trillion in debt. What happened was the cap rate on these buildings when they were full was about 4.5%, which is what you would expect. That's what you want as a landlord. It's perfect. Unfortunately, because of COVID, everybody went home. And then corporations realized, well, hell, just because I can't see them doesn't mean that they're not doing the same amount of work. Okay, great. Stay home. I'll just give you a tiny little raise so that you can buy some stuff at your house and do business from home. Perfect. Except that what they did by doing that was lower the cap rate with these huge, huge occupancies to just barely above zero. Those office buildings are financed at the old rates of 2%, and they're not making any money. In some cases, they're losing just a tiny bit at 2%. When they have to refinance those loans, and there are $4 trillion of those insanely low interest rate loans coming due in the next 18 months, those loans will be defaulted upon, period. Those buildings will be empty. The banking system in the United States will start to collapse. So the question you have to ask yourself is, do I want my money in the banking system? Well, it's FDIC insured, right? Sure. The FDIC talked about in November of 2022, they talked about something that most people never heard about. I actually watched the video where the FDIC director said, look, we don't want to talk about bail-ins because it'll panic the public, it'll cause a run on institutions, but there will be bail-ins. That's what he said. A bail-in is simply the opposite of a bailout. Instead of your tax money going to prop up the banks like it did in 2008, because they swore that they'd never do that again, they came up with a different plan, bail-ins. And a bail-in means that you go to the bank and you say, I want my $250,000. And they say, no. You can't have it. That's it. It's a bail-in. Now, what people don't realize is that because of the legislation that was passed after 2008, the Dodd-Frank Act, you are no longer putting your money in their institution. According to that act, you now are making an unsecured loan to your financial institution. Unsecured, which means if they can't pay you back, they don't have to pay you back. In lieu of that, however, you can opt for stock in their insolvent bank. Now, I don't know if that excites you. I can't think of anything less exciting. I would rather stick a fork in my own eye than have my entire life savings disappear in lieu of stock in a worthless bank. Warren Buffett just sold $282 million worth of Bank America a couple days ago. What does he know that you don't? Start doing some homework, folks. And by the way, the reason I know all of this is because I'm in the silver business. I don't deal with bullshit paper.
Well, when you're as poor as I am, I ain't got no damn bank account anyway, so I guess I'm good.
I just proved that our sun is operating at the exact same mathematics as the ancient Mayas used. And this changes everything we know about our reality. Solar Cycle 25 hit maximum activity in August of 2024, exactly 1,597 days after it started. That's not random, that's Fibonacci number F17. The sun is literally counting in Fibonacci sequence. It gets crazy. The strongest sunspot month has 216 sunspots. When I applied golden ratio mathematics, that it equals 5 times Fibonacci 12, which is 233. Perfect mathematical harmony. Right now, as we speak, our sun is exactly 377 days past its maximum. That's Fibonacci number F14. We're living inside a cosmic mathematical equation in real time. Remember this equation I showed you? E equals h times frequency times phi to the Fibonacci power. Our sun's energy output is following this exact pattern. Solar flares, sunspots, everything. This means that the ancient Mayas weren't just tracking time, they discovered the mathematical operating system that runs our entire universe. The same number that creates flower petals and galaxies. Those same ones control our sun. Based on these Fibonacci patterns, I can tell you exactly when the next solar phase will hit, March of 2026. That's when we will reach F15 equals 610 days, and solar activity will shift dramatically. We're not just living on a planet that's orbiting a star, we're inside a massive cosmic computer running on golden ratio mathematics that ancient civilizations somehow understood perfectly. This is happening right now. Every solar flare, every sunspot follows ancient mathematical laws. Follow me if you want to see reality's source code.
Yeah, this dude's math might as well be speaking a foreign language to me. Like I said, I can't even fact check him because I can't math check that dude. So, sounds good to me. What y'all think?
What happened once you pulled him over?
Well, he got a little bit aggressive with me verbally, and so I just did my job. I just pulled him into the side. I put the handcuffs on, read him his rights, walked him to the car, sat him down, did a routine check on the car, and lo and behold, found a gun.
Okay. Like I said previously, I checked your previous record. You're not supposed to be in possession of a firearm.
And, Your Honor, like I said, the gun was planted. I did not know the gun was in my car.
Okay. Where'd you find this firearm, sir?
I found it under the passenger seat, and it looked like it was like he had it there.
Okay. As far as the robbery part goes, when you complete your investigation, was he the suspect for the robbery or not?
Yes.
He was?
Yep.
So he committed the robbery as well?
Yes. Your
Okay,
Honor.
you charged him with that as well?
Yes, I did.
Okay. All right.
Your Honor.
All right. Yes, sir.
You heard it clear from his words. He said he fit the description.
Yeah.
He wasn't sure that I was the suspect.
But here's the thing, sir. When someone has probable cause to stop you, whether you could be driving the same vehicle, you can have a physical description, has a probable cause to stop you and conduct a further investigation to see if you are involved in the actual crime. You are aware of that, correct, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. Interesting thing about this. Do you have body cam? Were you wearing your body cam that day?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Is your car equipped with a dash cam?
Dash cam, yeah, of course.
Okay. Do you know if it was on or not?
Yeah, it's always on.
It's always on? It's interesting. Because I was advised by supervisor at Mango Park that I need to look at that video, and we're going to look at that today. Jerome.
I don't think you should. You don't have to.
Don't worry about it. Jerome, can you turn on the monitor?
Evidence is there.
Let's see here what we have here. Okay. All right. This is the car.
Yep.
Okay, that you stopped. Mr. Baptiste, is this your motor vehicle?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
There's Officer Leon coming approaching.
See?
Wow. That's funny. Officer Leon, I'm confused. You said you found the gun in the car, but you're walking, holding a gun. Well, did you just put it in the car? Do you have some type of special powers where you can materialize it from the car into your hand and you go back?
Your Honor, I don't remember that happening at all.
You don't remember that? No. But it's there. It's there. It's there. You're walking. That's you walking to his car, holding a gun.
That was his gun, in his car. That was his gun. That right there.
It shows it clearly.
Hold on.
Somebody setting me up. Somebody setting me up within the department.
How did they set you up?
I don't know, man. This is Photoshop.
That's Photoshop.
They got all these new apps and stuff. I'm telling you, this.
You're walking to his car holding a firearm.
Yeah, no, I wasn't holding the firearm.
Is that not you holding a firearm? Walking to his car?
It looks like
Jerome,
me, but I'm telling you that's not.
Jerome, you can turn it off. I need you to explain that to me right now.
So what you're seeing there is me walking to the car and doing the routine check. But that part with me holding a gun and all that, that's
confused. You said he committed the robbery, but if he didn't have a gun, what did he use to commit this robbery?
The gun was in the passenger seat.
But we saw you walk to the car and put the gun in the car.
That was altered. If you look really good at the video, there was like a glitch in there. It was stitched in there. I don't know why you were shaking your head, man.
Because he's shaking his head just like I'm shaking my head.
Literally. The evidence is shown right there.
You planted a firearm on this young man.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
No, I would never.
Yeah,
you've seen his priors, Your Honor.
Officer Leon, I'm going to say this one.
What an absolute disgrace in so many ways. And this officer, man, I wish there was more to the clip, but I ended it where it ended. It ended right there. I wanted to hear what that judge was going to tell that officer. Now, I don't give a damn. That cop should 100% be getting convicted and doing the same amount of time that other man would have done due to that officer planting that gun on him like that. I mean, and what's so sad about that is you got one black man setting up another black man, and if it wasn't for the third black man taking care of business to save the setup black man from the cop, that was just a lot going on in that courtroom. Black judge, black arresting officer, black man getting framed, and then even what's the dude? The little other dudes in there, the little cops that be in there anyway, even the other little cop dude in the courtroom, the bailiff, that's what I'm looking for. Even that dude was black when he walked through real briefly. The only white person in that whole thing was right as that bailiff walked by, you could see just a little bitty spot where there was a white guy sitting in the background. See a white face for like 5 seconds. Other than that, it was all black in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, what a disgrace. Black people setting up on, and it had to be the light-skinned brother setting up the other brother. Make us light-skinned brothers look bad. That's just messed up, man, in all kind of ways.
I am literally 100% convinced that there are no such thing as coincidences anymore. No. I took about 3 more steps into the rabbit hole of the movie Snake Eyes, and from my previous video, I found about 3, maybe 4 more things that are not coincidences. This man right here put the coincidences into ChatGPT, and it said that it's 1 in 1.8 quadrillion odds that all of those coincidences lined up perfectly. Let's go over a few more. There was an ambulance in the movie. Number 47 was on the ambulance. Tyler, the executioner, was actually a distraction for the person who actually killed the character of Nicolas Cage. There was a hurricane in the movie, and guess what the hurricane's name was? Jezebel. The odds of this all being a coincidence is about the same amount of odds that a .30-06 weapon would have 0 exit hole. Nothing is a coincidence. I don't know how they do this. They are laughing in our faces at this point. You will never change my mind.
This is a deep, dark rabbit hole that this chick is talking about, man. It is crazy how much these things line up. From the movie she's talking about to the Charlie Kirk situation, like, it is ridiculous amount of stuff lining up. All the names, you've got to check this out. It's crazy. But I don't want to talk too much Charlie stuff because, man, you got to be careful now, man. You getting strikes on channels for just saying the wrong names, man. I got to be careful right now. But anyway, y'all, we have come to that time where those curtains are about to close, but y'all know how I do it around here. Come in this house happy, you got to leave this house happy. I'm not going to let y'all walk up out of here with no frowns on your face. We got to get some laughs, some giggles. So let me get you some giggles going on real quick before we ride out. What you think? Let's do it. And that wraps up another one, guys. Thank you so much for coming and spending some more time with me this evening. I really appreciate it. And remember, man, this world is just a big old stage full of actors. All right, don't take any of these people too serious. Keep your eyes on all of them. Don't trust any of them. Keep your eyes open, your ears peeled, and that head on a swivel. I love y'all. I'm out. See y'all on the next one. Peace. Well, before y'all go, don't forget to slide up there into my merch store and grab you some of this good old merch, like some of this Me and My Conspiracies merch. Coffee mugs, hoodies, women's shirts, men's shirts. We got it all. The link to the store is down in the description. We'll see y'all later.
Kingdom last year when it was leaked to the media.